Yeba yeba! There is a new string being born that we are witnessing now. I don't know what I'm going to name that string yet, but the player on that string is the kid who's called the Wonder Boy from Slovenia, Luka Doncic. Man, this kid is just amazing. He does like video game stats, like it's too easy for him. It's like a rookie difficulty for him in the NBA. I really see his game like Larry Bird's. The shooting, the passing, rebounding might not yet on the level of Bird from the defensive end, but this kid is still young. He can still improve that.
And now, for who I think the next great player for the unique string. There are 4 players who I think the closest player to be on this string. And those players are Cat, Karl Anthony Towns, Andrew Wiggins, Zach LaVine, and the one I think for me is really the closest to be on this string among the 4 players, and he is the Joker, Nikola Jokic. They were all born on the year 1995, which has a 3-year gap from 1992 when Shaq was drafted. These 3 players are still young. Who knows what will happen? But from what I see, I think Jokic is the closest because he might not dominate the game from scoring, rebounding, and on the defensive end like Jabbar and Shaq, but Nikola Jokic is a unique player. Even in this era where centers can just do and be allowed to do everything like what the other players can do. But no one in this new breed of centers does the things Jokic does. I mean, he is a point center. I mean, if it's a point forward, okay, but point center? Damn! I mean, nobody saw this coming. That's how unique Jokic is. His passes are just amazing. I think most of his passes are much better passes than the point guards of the league. To me, he is the greatest passing center of all time, and he is the most clutch center of all time. And the Nuggets are winning because of him. For me, Nikola Jokic is the next great player for the unique string. Now for who I think is the next great player for the underrated string, I think it's the Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo, who was born in the year 1994, 2-season MVPs already, and a defensive player of the year the previous season, but there are still a lot of doubters towards him. He is still underrated. That's why I call this string that. But to me, this dude is a complete beast. He can do everything as a 6'11 player or maybe a 7-footer. Well, except shooting, but I do believe that he will improve that in the years to come. He is just at the beginning of his prime. Giannis might be able to change the name of this string in the future, but for now he is still underrated. For me, Giannis is the next great player for the underrated string. Now for who I think the next great player for the unfortunate string, there are a lot of players who are candidates for this string because these players are still young and it's still too early in their careers. With the likes of De'Aaron Fox, Bam Adebayo, Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Jamal Murray, and Jason Tatum, who were all born in the year 1997, the year when T-Mac was drafted. But for me, it is Jason Tatum. For now. Like I've said, still too early in their careers. Anything can happen, but there can only be one player who'll be on top and we'll just have to wait and find out. But for now, I choose Jason Tatum to be the next great player for the unfortunate string. And now for who I think the next great player for the best string. Again, just like the unfortunate string, there are a lot of candidates for this string because they are still too young and it's too early in their careers. With the likes of Ben Simmons, D'Angelo Russell, Devin Booker, Jaylen Brown, Donovan Mitchell, and also there is this player who was drafted 48 overall on the 2020 NBA draft. He is Terrence Mann, who I think if given a chance, he could become a great player because this dude can do everything. Score, defend, rebound, pass. He has a high basketball IQ, although I think he needs to improve his shooting. Terrence Mann might not be on the same level as these players in the 96 kids yet. He was just a rookie last year and he did not have that much playing time on the Clippers. So I hope he will have more chances to show his greatness next year. So watch out for Terrence Mann. But for now, I have to choose Donovan Mitchell. It's not that I'm being biased because he is my favorite player right now, but really Donovan has the most potential among them all. He can do everything, like he can pass, rebound, defend, shoot. I mean, yeah, he is just 6'2 or 6'3,
but he is still great despite his height. But yeah, Ben Simmons is just right up there. Shooting is the only thing he's lacking. If I'm gonna rank my picks to who will be the next on this string, it's gonna be Donovan Mitchell, Ben Simmons, and Terrence Mann. But for now, it's gonna be Donovan Mitchell. And I think he can be the MVP for this 2020 and 2021 season, because the things he did last postseason was just amazing. I mean, he was just 7 points shy to break Michael Jordan's NBA playoff scoring record, which turned out to be a loss, just like MJ's against Bird and the Celtics, which also had an overtime game. Donovan also did a pass that Jordan made before. It was a spin pass. This one. As great as Donovan plays, he was always bested by someone else or other teams since his rookie season, from not being the Rookie of the Year in 2018, from getting to the playoffs each year but getting eliminated, especially last season against the Nuggets when he turned the ball over. Again, just like Jordan's against the Magic. And because of that turnover by Mitchell, although Torrey Craig missed the ceiling layup, Mike Conley had to shoot a transition 3 to win the game, but it didn't went in. The reaction from Donovan Mitchell was just painful and losing to the Nuggets when they were up 3-1. And I think that will give Donovan more fire to become a winner in the NBA and be a better player. That's why I think he can win the MVP award. So for me, Donovan Mitchell is the next great player for the best string. And now for who I think the next great player for the GOAT string. Honestly, I still don't know yet. I haven't seen a high school player who was born on the year 2003 that is highly ranked or even known as a great player in high school. I don't have that much knowledge of high school basketball players because I'm from the Philippines, so I'll just have to wait for that kid to go viral on the internet, so I'll just wait and see. Or maybe this kid is an international player who we haven't heard yet. But if you have any ideas of player who was born in 2003, comment down below so I can check it out. But I do watch the high school ballers from the US. And those kids are really good, men, with the likes of Jalen Green, Mikey Williams, Imoni Bates, which at first I thought was born on the year 2003 when LeBron James was drafted. Turns out they were born a year early or a year late from 2003. And I even thought Bronny was born on 2003 because how amazing would have that been? He is LeBron James' son, but he is born a year late. But still, who knows? Maybe one of these kids might turn out to be the face of the league in the future. We'll just have to wait when that time comes. There are more interesting theories I have about this string of greatness. Like for each strings, there is an alternation of the accomplishment of each players. Like for the GOAT string, MJ has more accomplishments than LeBron. Although we don't know, maybe LeBron might have more rings than MJ on the end of his career. But for all the strings, it has been like that. There is an alternation. Like for the best string, Bill Russell has more rings than Larry Bird. Larry Bird has less rings than Kobe. So probably the next player to Kobe is gonna have less accomplishments than Kobe. For the unfortunate string, Wilt has less rings than Magic Johnson, and T-Mac has never won a ring. So probably the next player to T-Mac is going to have more accomplishments than T-Mac. For the underrated string, Dr. J has more accomplishments than Grant Hill, and Giannis already has more accomplishments than Grant Hill. And probably he will win a ring in the future, who knows, maybe this upcoming season. And now for the unique string. Kareem has more accomplishments than Shaq, so probably the player who's next to Shaq is going to win more. Another interesting theory I have for the string of greatness. Each player from each string has never faced off on the court. It's like this. If a great player is drafted, a great player is born. And if a great player retires, a great player is drafted. But only for each strings. Like for the GOAT string, MJ has retired 3 times. But in his final retirement in 2003, the King LeBron James was drafted. So maybe we won't be seeing the next great player for the GOAT string until LeBron James retires. for the best string. Bill Russell retired on the year 1969, and Bird was drafted on the year 1978. Bird retired on the year 1992, and Kobe gets drafted on 1996. Kobe retired on 2016, and Donovan Mitchell was drafted on the year 2017. Ben Simmons was drafted in 2016, and Terrence Mann was drafted in 2020. For the unfortunate string, Wilt retired on the year 1973, and Magic was drafted on 1979. Magic retired twice, but a year after his final retirement on 1996, Tracy McGrady was drafted. T-Mac retired on 2013, and Jason Tatum and the rest of the 1997 kids was drafted after 2013. For the underrated string, Dr. J retired on 1987, and Grant Hill was drafted on the year 1994. Grant Hill retired on 2013, and Giannis was drafted on that year as well. For the unique string, Kareem retired on the year 1989, and 3 years later, Shaq was drafted. Shaq retired on 2011, and 3 years later, my pick Nikola Jokic was drafted in 2014. It's like they are linked from each strings. It's like they are the chosen ones to continue each string's legacy. Even the player in each strings who are playing now are showing greatness. By the way, comment down below to whom you think are going to be the next great players on each strings. I mean, this is my opinion and you can have your own opinion. Just comment down below. Now I'm gonna rank each players and there is gonna be changes from the list I had on my first video. So this is my greatest players of all time list. But I'm not gonna include the players who are still playing. Well, except for LeBron, because he is number 2 on my all-time list. So at number 1 is MJ. Number 3 is Larry Bird. Number 4 is Kobe Bryant. Number 5 is Wilt Chamberlain. Number 6 is Kareem. Number 7 is Magic. Number 8 is Shaq. Number 9 is Dr. J. Number 10 is Bill Russell. Now I can't really rank T-Mac and Grant Hill as high as 11 and 12 because they were injured. But even with those injuries they had in their careers, I will put them between top 20 and 30 players of all time. If only they played without injuries in their careers, maybe they would have been higher on the list. Also comment down below your greatest player of all time list. Now I don't know if all the information I got was true, like their birthdays. I mean, I don't know these players personally, and I have not witnessed most of them in their playing days. I just base it on their highlights, their stats, or whatever information I can get about them. I just base all my information from the internet. If the information I got from the internet is wrong, then I'm wrong. So there you go. I know it may sound like I'm making a big deal about all this stuff. Yeah, maybe. Maybe I am. Maybe this is just nothing. But each of these players dominated each eras they played in. And to me, they are the top 12 greatest players of all time if not for the injuries of T-Mac and Grant Hill. So they are just top 10 greatest players of all time to me. But that's up to you on how you see it. This is just my opinion and I just find it interesting and wanted to share it to you. And I hope you'll find it interesting too. That's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed, and if you do, please like and subscribe to my channel and click the bell button to be notified for my next videos. Also, follow me on my social media accounts, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. The links are on the description. Yabba yabba!